That was just impressive. Saints were hitting 259, so the Saints were still posting good numbers there.
Kuntz giving that pass to Peters. Back to Kuntz. Holman to Volkovic. To Senzuela, who gives a free ball. Gardner hitting that ball out of bounds, and Saints will get that point. What did you say you were saying? Woolslayer giving an overpass and a joust.
The joust, that call is not right there. If Peters is blocking it, I think Peters may not have been the last touch. It's a tough one.
Gardner trying to move out of the way and getting hit a little bit, giving the Saints another point.
Bobcat.
Saints did switch up their lineup. Bobcats might have been thrown a little bit by that. Trying to get back into it. Volkovic giving that to St. E. St. Eloy on the right side. The Bobcats get the block, giving them their first point of the set. We see Peters rotating back to serve here. Holman giving that to Volkovic. Holman with a save off the block. St. Eloy going in for a roll. Peters setting Kuntz on the right side. Volkovic to Holman from the back row, giving a free ball. Peters out to Sims. And he gets the kill off the block. Point Bobcats. Peters will rotate back again to serve. Peters with a beautiful serve. Podgorczak trying to get a touch on it. Fortunately, it's not enough. Bobcats get an ace.
That's the second ace for the Bobcats in the match today.
Right after the ace comes the ball that goes out of bounds. Point for the Saints.
Both Bobcat aces coming from Peters.
There you go. We see Senzual on the back line to serve. Ball hits the bottom of the net. Point Bobcats. Kuntz on the back line getting ready to serve. Podgorczak giving that to Volkovic. Malone out of the middle as he gets a beautiful kill. That ball goes into the net. The Bobcats will get another point. Now tying the game at 5. We see Gardner rotating back to serve. Holman to Volkovic to Igo. Ball goes into the net and the Bobcats get the point.
Vukovic here still setting out of the back row, has 3 hitters available to him. The Bobcats are in a 2-hitter rotation at the moment. Oh, excuse me, no they're not. They're in 3-hitter rotation as well.
Peters back to Sims. Volkovich with a nice touch on that ball. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Bobcats get that point. Gardner will rotate back again to serve. Ullman to Volkovich to St. Eloy with a great kill down the line. Point for the Saints.
Yeah, the Bobcat block on that side obviously taking a lot of angle. They're going to need to set that up a little bit more toward the line. I see the head coach adjusting her outside blocker there to do just that.
St. Eloy with a serve out of bounds there. Point for the Bobcats. Now increasing their lead, 8-6.
Our internal scoreboard wrong here. They're still showing 7-6, but we believe it's 8-6 now.
Yep,
The official just pointed it out.
Sims on the back line serving. Volkovich chasing that ball down. And Peters with a beautiful kill off an overpass.
That was just a beautiful job right there. Nice set to him by the other side.
Sims with another serve here. Fortunately, that ball goes into the net. Saints with another point. We see Holman rotating back to serve.
Sims picking up his second service error there. He accounts for 2 of the 5 so far.
Knowles giving that to Peters, to Backer, who hits Holman on the head and gets the kill.
Backer does a nice job there, but he's still over approaching the ball a little bit. You can see just how far behind he is in that replay and how his shoulder is still quite open. He's unable to completely close on his swing.
Woolslayer with a missed serve there, goes out of bounds. And we will see Igo rotating back to serve.
And Woolslayer on the service errors as well today for the Bobcats. Sims is now up to 3, I guess, after that last one. Woolslayer is up to 2.
Peters giving that ball to Sims out of the back row. It worked there that time. You'll see Backer rotating to serve. Holman to Volkovich to Senzual, who gets the kill.
Senzual with a nice swing there. Went angle, managed to find a way around that block.
Volkovich on the back line serving. Kuntz giving that to Peters to Gardner, who just tips it over the block. Holman coming out of the back row there for the Saints. Fortunately, that ball goes out of bounds, and the Bobcats get the point.
It's a nice job there in the back row. Woolslayer playing out of the middle back there, calling that one out long before it got back there.
Peters with another ace. That one just barely drizzling over the tape of the net.
Peters single-handedly keeping up on the ace-to-error ratio. Bobcats with 3 aces. He owns all 3 of them. 7 serving errors so far for the Bobcats.
Podgorczak to Volkovich. Peters chasing that down to Sims, who just barely tips it over the block, and he gets the point.
I really like seeing that out of Sims. The last several games leading up to the coaching change, a lot of the time he's just full swing, full swing, full swing, and I really like seeing him pull more tricks out of his bag. So nice job there. We'll take a quick break and be right back with you. You're listening to the Bobcat Network. And we're back from that break. Bobcats still in a timeout here. Timeout called by the Saints. Saints in the timeout as well. You can see both of them from our camera angle. We'll run over a couple more statistics here. Bobcats are hitting 400 in this set. It looks like they made an adjustment to the statistics from set one. As I look back at those now, the Bobcats finished set one showing 500 on the attack percentage. So they made an adjustment there. That's just such a monster number to post. Right now they're hitting 400. They've made a total of 3 errors so far in attacking compared to 8 errors on the Saints side.
Holman giving that to Volkovich. Woolsayer with a great save there.
It might have been a serving save. So, I mean, that one-handed just swing at it and try and keep it in play.
Yep. Senzual coming out with the kill for the Saints off of that point. He will rotate back to serve as well. Woolsayer giving that to Peters. Back to Woolsayer, who just drizzled over the net. Woolsayer to Peters again. Back to Kuntz. And he gets the kill off the block.
Again, Kuntz, that's really been his bread and butter for the day. He's just getting a lot of shots that are deflecting off the side of the block, and it's working well for him. In fact, I'm not even sure if he's got one kill that was the result of the ball hitting the floor.
St. Eloy coming in for the kill there off of Gardner. Can't really get a hand on it. We see Malone on the back line getting ready to serve. Woolsayer to Peters to Gardner off the one-handed set, and he gets the kill.
Yeah, and we've talked about that before on this broadcast. That is just really one of the strengths of Peters. His ability to just set that ball one-handed and push it out, especially when you can do that to a middle set.
Senzual to Podgorczak to Holman. And we see the line judge call a touch. The Saints will get that point.
I don't think she made a mistake there. I think there was a touch on that.
Yeah.
So
it's tough to see from this angle. Peters pushing that out to Woolsayer.
that one was way off the net, and I know it was a short pass to Peters time-wise, and so he had to do something quick, but I don't like going right back to the guy who just pulled out the pass. You know, he should have moved that ball.
St. Eloy with the serve here. Woolsayer to Peters. Back to Sims. That ball goes out of bounds. Point for the Saints.
And that's one of those moments where Sims needed to reach into his bag and do something else. That hard angle shot, he just, that's his, 95% of the time he's shooting that shot. He needs to pull something down the line or trickle it there.
Backer coming in with the kill off the block.
Yeah, really good to see Backer making some
sets.
connections with Peters in the last couple of matches and picking up some kills.
Yeah, seems since the coaching change, the middles have been getting a lot more sets as well. It's probably something being implemented. Peters back to Sims. St. Eloy to Podgorczak. Sims giving that to Peters, out to Woolsayer, who is blocked right back down. Point for the Saints.
And this is an example of a rotation where the Bobcats have to figure out offensively what they want to do here. Peters is in the front row. He's got two hitters. He's got Woolsayer and Backer. And if he can't run the middle, And sometimes even when he has the outside available, he just set in the back row to Sims a lot here. But he has to figure out a way to generate kills out of this position.
We see the Saints coach giving a little pass there. The ball comes off the block pretty quick to him.
And that one being hit by Woolslayer, who was blocked just a moment ago. And again, another thing I'd say to setters is don't get in your mind that person can't correct it. Give them a chance to turn it around. Now, on the flip side, I'm about to pull Woolslayer myself from serving. That's just too many serving errors already. Between he and Sims, he's accounting for most of the team's service errors as he picks up his third there. Sims also has 3. There's only one other serving error on the team, and that's Peters, but he's got 3 aces to match it up.
We see Peters with a great block there, too. Bobcats get that point. Backer rotating back to serve. Holman to Volkovich to Senzual, who gets the kill.
Bobcats close to that red zone we talk a lot about here is they're just about to hit the 20th point. They could pick it up here in a side-out offense. That would be a nice way to enter it with a 3-point lead.
Kuntz giving that to Peters to Gardner. Gardner again from the overpass, and he gets the kill.
Yeah, that's a nice one. The first time around, Gardner sort of mishit that ball. Sometimes that ends up being a kill. Instead, it became an overpass, essentially. They gave him a second shot at it.
Peters on the back line. Holman giving that to Volkovich. To Malone.
And this is a great place for the Bobcats to be. Peters has just drifted into the back row now. It's a 3-hitter rotation for them. We'll see the Saints call a timeout here. Bobcats in a 3-hitter rotation, and Peters, who's rattled off 3 aces today, is serving. Bobcats with a 4-point lead, 21-17, as they head into this timeout. We'll take a quick break and be right back with you. You're listening to the Bobcat Network. And we're back from that Saints timeout. I believe that was their second of the game. So the Saints with no more timeouts here. I don't think the Bobcats have used one yet in this second set. They lead now 21-17. Peters behind the serve.
Senzual to Podgorczak, who gives it back to Senzual, and he gets the kill.
Very nice job there by Senzual of the Saints. He passed the ball, put himself in position. It was a forearm set to him, and he was able to put it away off the block.
Woolslayer to Peters. And Sims will give a free ball over. Malone giving that to Volkovich. Out to Holman, and Holman gets the kill.
Not entirely sure there. Our angle on this one is really tough for us because I couldn't see where that ball went. I assume it went between the block, but it was just such a weird hit to see it get through when it looked like the block was set up on it.
Woolslayer to Peters to Kuntz. Volkovich out to Holman. Holman with another kill for the Saints.
Driving that ball around this outside block. That's Kuntz and Gardner right now that are functioning as the blocking team there. Coach wisely calls a timeout here after a couple points as the Saints have brought the gap to 1, trailing now just 20-21. Bobcats seeing a couple of kills out of that outside hitter position right now, need to make a quick adjustment and get the side out. We'll take a quick break. Be interesting to see if the Bobcats can get a decent pass here, what their offensive plan is. They've got 3 hitters in this. They've got Sims, Gardner, and Kuntz here. Peters coming out of the back row.
Knowles giving a good pass to Peters. Gives it back to Kuntz, and he gets the kill.
I think, like I said before, that might be Kuntz's first kill that actually hit the floor. That
Yeah.
one trickles through the block. hits the floor. Doesn't matter. When I mentioned that earlier, it wasn't a knock against Kuntz at all. I'll take the points wherever I can get them. If you're tooling blockers all day long, that's just as good as hitting the floor with it.
St. Eloy for the Saints coming out with a kill.
St. Eloy is one of those players that did not start this match for whatever reason in terms of what coach might have been doing on the Saints side there, but he's been pounding the numbers since he's been in.
Gardner coming out of the middle. See Volkovich giving that to Holman. Kuntz diving for it. Peters to Woolslayer. The ball goes out of bounds. The Saints will get that point, now tying it at 22.
So it's a game to 3 here for the Bobcats. Bobcats still need to find a way to keep their middles effective. Gardner was sort of out of that play there. Now they run a double middle set there, essentially, bringing Woolslayer in for a quick. It doesn't convert to a kill. Here's another opportunity for Woolslayer. He rolls that one. The setter's out on the Saints side, so they'll get the opportunity just to kind of trickle it over. There's Kuntz out of the back row. That's dug up. Back at the outside hitter position again. They just couldn't get any good swings out of that position. It was Holman, which, Holman had pounded a couple of kills earlier, so just didn't work for him.
Yeah, that one, Holman didn't really get his full approach. He was about at the 8-foot line when he started his approach for that, so. You see Holman coming in, hitting the ball out. The Bobcats will gain another point, now bringing them to set point. Gardner is on the back line and getting ready to serve. Sends a wall to Volkovich. And we see Igo getting a kill there out of the middle.
That's a nice turn by Igo, too, away from the blockers to hit that. I mean, height is his advantage there.
Mm-hmm. St. Eloy getting ready to serve. Ball goes into the net. The Bobcats will win this set, now bringing them 2-0.
Just a great showing so far in the first 2 sets here by the Bobcats. I mean, one thing to note, we mentioned earlier that the Bobcats experienced a midseason coaching change, and it seems to have rejuvenated them and helped them out a bit. We're